I'm Kerry Fink with Helping Seniors of Brevard. It is time for Helping Seniors Update. And so what a great time that we always have. Our special guest is Vicki Moore. This is for Friday, March the 12th. And here we are. We're already in March. Spring is coming along. It's good. Everybody's getting the vaccinations. We're moving out of COVID world. And I'm so excited that on Helping Seniors Updates every other Friday, we get this opportunity to present the art of healthy living with our sort of in-house expert who is Vicki Moore with CarePlus right here along the Space Coast. How are you today, Vicki?
I'm doing really great, Carrie. I'm always, as always, so excited to be here with you today. And something I just realized is we are springing forward this weekend, so that makes me really excited. We're going to have more daylight,
Well, no,
more
all
sunshine.
all in favor of that. And I was thinking we have a lot of reason to be optimistic as we go forward. Last year we were just starting to embark on this whole journey that we called COVID, and this year with people getting vaccinated and moving forward, it seems like we've weathered a lot of that storm. And now, if we're just careful going forward, we'll be able to keep things moving forward in a great way. And I know you have been such a great resource to so many people because you help people navigate through the questions that they've had coming up about their Medicare plans and what's the best idea for them given whatever is going on with them, from everything from medical stuff that they need to prescriptions. And that's one of the advantages that you're able to do in your role working with Care Plus, is helping folks.
Well, I certainly do my best, Carrie. That's what I do or try to do. So yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, things are definitely looking up with the vaccinations, and hopefully we can start to get back to normal. I know a lot of the different organizations and groups that I'm part of. I mean, a lot of people are starting to meet in person again, and so that's just a great feeling. I think we all missed each other a bit. So
Absolutely. And I want to thank you also for taking the time. I know you have so many things to do in your schedule, but you've taken the time throughout all this time to help us with these art of healthy living. These are great resource materials. I mean, we've covered everything, Vicki, as you think about it. We've talked about how to understand organic food labels. We've talked about how food can improve your mood. We've talked about things like Medicare 101. We've talked about things like how to make the most of your Social Security decisions and all of that. And today, I'm really excited about the topic you've got picked out for us today, because this is one that's so important for all of us. It's battling the aging brain. And for those of us on the helping senior side, we know Joe Steckler, our president and founder. He's the guy that founded the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, got all that started here locally because he understood, the different challenges that we can have as we age. And one of the things he said, Carrie, he said, as people get older, he said, not everybody is affected, by a particular thing like Alzheimer's, but we all have challenges as we grow older. So any tips and things that you're going to help us with today on battling the aging brain is going to be so important. Before we get started, I just want you to share your contact information, so as people may have questions as we go through the presentation, they know how to get in touch with you. Or if they have just a question that they want to ask about, hey, listen, I think I was set up with my Medicare plan, but I'm not sure if I got the right thing for me this year or whatever. I guess I always love to direct people to you because you're such a good resource you understand all of it, and then you can help them, go make sure that they're going in the right direction.
right. And so I am Vicki Moore. I am a sales representative at CarePlus, and the best number to reach me at is going to be 502-777-6277. So there's a lot of sevens, so that's hopefully kind of easy to remember, but I'll say it again: 502-777-6277. And I'm also going to just put out my email, and that would be vmore5. So that's my Vicki, or V for Vicki, my last name Moore, vmore5 at careplus.hp.com. So definitely reach out to me if you ever have any questions. And as you said, there's there could be lots of questions about Medicare. And as a matter of fact, March is the last month in what we call OEP. It's January 1st through March 31st, and that means open enrollment period. And that's the time of year when folks who have enrolled in plans back in during annual enrollment period are allowed, if you already have a Medicare Advantage plan, and for whatever reason, if you switched plans back in 2020 and your new plan started this year and you just decided it's not the right plan for you, then you're allowed to make changes. And you've got that opportunity until the end of this month, until March 31st. So it's a great time to make a change if you want to. But I also want to emphasize that CarePlus, that particular health plan is a 5-star plan. And because it's a 5-star plan, that gives you a special enrollment period all year long. So even if by chance you miss the OEP deadline of March 31st, and you decide, you've just decided that CarePlus is the option or the way that you want to go, or you want to give it a try, you can actually enroll all year long. So I'm always available, and I'll just throw my number out one more time, Carrie. 502-777-6277. If you're not sure if you want that plan, or you just any kind of question that you have, please feel free to give me a call on that.
Good. Well, so let's dive right into learning about how we can maximize everything brain power wise. I love this.
Okay. And kind of going back to that COVID thing that what you were talking about. So I think I just heard that the CDC has allowed nursing homes visitors to the nursing homes. So they have realized, I guess because of the vaccinations, the herd immunity, and the numbers have gone down so much that they're allowing people back into the nursing homes. And I feel like that really goes hand in hand with what we're talking about today, you're battling the aging brain, because as you'll see as I go through this, some of the really important factors are, socialization and talking to people. And, we haven't had that for the last year. So many people have been missing that. So I'm so excited to hear that is happening now. So, that's a big part of it. So, but today, we're going to learn about the anatomy of the human brain, how the brain changes with age, and how to keep your brain healthy. So some things, some parts of the brain. So we're going to be a little technical here. You can see kind of a photo, or I guess a picture or drawing of the brain. So you've got, let's just start with the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is where you're doing your thinking and your planning, your problem solving, your reasoning, and your motor skills. And then if you come down, you see the temporal lobe. And that is what helps us with our memory and our understanding, our sounds, and it contains our hippocampus. And then you've got the brainstem. The brainstem controls our vital functions like our heart rate, our breathing, and our blood pressure. And then you've got going over to the cerebellum. That helps us control our balance and posture and coordinates our voluntary movements. And then we've got our and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, our occipital lobe. I should have practiced that. It receives and interprets information from the retinas. And then our parietal lobe, which controls our sensory information like our taste, our touch, and our pain. So this just kind of gives you an idea of the brains. I promise there's no quiz at the end, but all right, so we're going to talk about the aging brain. What is normal? So brain changes of any kind may be frightening, and some changes are a normal part of aging. These changes could include small declines in memory, slower processing speed, increased reaction time, decrease in speed of learning, and then difficulty doing more than one task at a time and ignoring distractions. And so I can say that I'm in my 5th decade, Carrie, and I'm definitely, I can see some of these things happening. I think it, like you said earlier, you may not be dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia, but just as we age, these things kind of tend to slow down. I definitely sometimes I'm trying to remember something that I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Why is it not coming to me? So definitely it happens. The aging brain, what's not normal? Dementia is a decline in one's ability to think and remember that is so severe that it affects a person's daily life. So some of these symptoms may include being unable to remember recent events, forgetting how to use common objects or words, getting lost in familiar locations, being unable to follow directions, neglecting safety, hygiene, and nutrition, and decline in the ability to socialize. And, similar to other parts of the body, the human brain tends to become, less agile as people get older. Scientists are still trying to unravel many of the mysteries of the brain to help people better understand why age-related changes happen and what can be done about them. So, but these are some of the different things, that are happening. And I would venture to say a lot of us out there, a lot of you out there, I know myself included, know people that are dealing with some of these things, and you start to see some of these things happen. And you start wondering, what's going on exactly. All right. So how do we keep our brain, or what can we do to keep our brain healthy? There are many things that we can do to help our brain work at its very best. We can engage in brain training activities. We can get plenty of physical activity. We can eat brain-friendly foods, and we can get plenty of sleep, and we can connect with others, like I was talking about before. That's such a vital part of keeping that brain active and healthy. So, just like other parts of the body, the human brain tends to become less agile as we age. And so these are just things that we need to do to keep that brain agile. Just like, we get out and we walk, or we go to the gym and we work out. We got to do some of these things for our brain as well. All right, so training our brain. We can help strengthen communication between these brain cells, reducing the risk of mental decline. Some things that we can do brain building puzzles. We can learn new things. We can take on projects that involve planning and design, and we can do things differently than what we normally do. And I think a lot of people are creatures of habit, and so that one might be a little bit difficult, but that's something kind of good to think about. Think about, something, we all have our daily routines, maybe switching things up a little bit. Just think of, doing things a little bit out of the box, just to kind of get our brain stimulated in new ways. All right, staying physically active. Exercise may play a role in decreasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease and help keep our brain healthy. So you want to aim to get about 30 minutes of moderate physical activity most days of the week, or 150 minutes per week. And be sure to talk to your doctor prior to beginning an exercise program. Because as I always say, I am definitely not a doctor. So any questions about your actual, physical health, you definitely want to reach out to your doctor and have those conversations. And, a lot of you may be getting more exercise in that, and that's great. And you may already have these programs, but it's still always nice reminders to know what's important. And, you may have loved ones that aren't getting this exercise. And no matter what your age, putting these things back into place can definitely be helpful to everybody. All right, so and we tend to talk about food a lot on these, when we get together, Carrie, and how important what we're eating, how it is, and how it affects us. And of course, it's super important with the brain. And they do recommend that the Mediterranean diet could be, very helpful in reducing the risk of dementia. And this is going to consist of, focusing on fruits and vegetables, nuts and whole grains, using healthy fats instead of unhealthy fats, limiting your red meat intake, using herbs instead of salt, including fish and poultry at least twice per week. And again, we've talked about a lot of this stuff, in previous episodes, but it's always such a good thing for even me to have it introduced to me again and to review it, because I don't always think about it. Like I try to eat healthy, but just for example, yesterday I was out for lunch and I got a salad, and I, reading this and thinking about this, I was thinking, what? I haven't had my fish for the week. I need to add some fish to my diet. So I got my protein was my fish. So, it's always so good to have these little reminders.
Yes.
And another thing that I don't always think about. I would say throughout my life, I've never been a huge salt user. Seems like I've gotten more into salt lately, but just that reminder that there's so many great herbs to use that you can still get a lot of flavor, and season your food a lot more healthy than using salt. So experiment with some different herbs and spices that you might really like. Much better for you. All right, and this one is always super important, getting enough sleep. Your brain needs a lot of sleep to function at its best. A lack of sleep makes it difficult to think clearly, to solve problems, and store and recall memories. So you want to follow these tips for better sleep. You want to get on a schedule to keep your body on a routine. You want to create calming bedtime rituals. You want to nap the right way if you're a napper, and you want to keep them short and you want to keep them early. So if you're a napper and you just got to get that in, make sure you're doing it early in the day. And I would say if you're doing that, you're probably an early riser in the first place if you're going to get that early nap in. So just if you're an early riser, make sure you're going to bed at a good time as well. And I know I can say for me personally, I definitely can feel a difference in how I'm functioning in my brain, how well it's working when I've not had enough sleep the prior night. So it makes a huge difference. All right, and this one, of course, is so important, connecting with others. Social interactions help maintain the vitality of the brain. The following ideas may help you stay connected with others. You can volunteer. You can join a club. You can give a friend a call. You can take a class. You can play a game with other people. So in this awful last year of COVID, when so many of us, I think, felt disconnected, so not sure how to do some of these things, I think a lot of people did reach out to family and friends virtually. So, we know Zoom and all of those things became so much more popular and so common in our world as, when they weren't before. So that's a great way. So even if you're still not comfortable getting out, those are still great ways to connect to your family and your friends. So make sure you're doing that. And Carrie, I'm just going to throw out to you volunteering. Well, I'll just say one thing I do is I volunteer for Meals on Wheels. Yeah. And I do that every Thursday. I go and I deliver meals during my lunch hour. So that is something I enjoy doing. But what about your organization, Carrie, or any volunteer opportunities you might want to highlight for us today?
Yeah, I was going to tell you, it's interesting. We were having this discussion on the Helping Seniors radio show, which we do every Wednesday from noon to 1 on 90.3 FM WEJF. And we were literally having this very topic that we're speaking about this sense of isolation that in particular has really been exacerbated by the whole COVID situation. And so one of the things that we're doing in the Helping Seniors organization is we're actually developing a whole new initiative now within the organization that is going to be specifically aimed at helping seniors to have more opportunities for interaction and socialization. Because years ago, Vicki, we did a study and it told us that one of the top needs that seniors here in Brevard County self-identify as one of their top needs is more interaction and more socialization. And if you think about that, all that was pre-COVID. So what we're doing in the Helping Seniors organization, and I'm going to pass along the Helping Seniors Senior Information Helpline number, which is 321-473-7770, 321-473-7770, is we are connected with a number of organizations that not only are looking for volunteers, but also there's some things inside of Helping Seniors. We're involved, especially as COVID clears and we're starting to move back into senior expos and a lot of the ways that we get information out. There's a lot of ways that you can get involved, which is doing a very important work. But it's also at the same time, as we're learning from Vicki, it's helping us keep our brain sharp too.
Yeah, which so important. Okay, thank you, Carrie. All right, so another thing we can do to keep our brain functioning is to have some memory aids in place for us. And this top one is something I definitely use every day. I keep a to-do list. And I love my to-do list because it's such an accomplishment for me well, first of all, it makes me remember. If I didn't have it, I would forget things. But it's a nice accomplishment or a feeling of accomplishment when I get to cross something off my to-do list. So it makes my day, it makes my day flow, I feel like, so much better. But it definitely jogs my memory. And it's like, okay, I need to make this phone call and I need to, get back with this person. So very important. And create a routine that is, so we talked about that a little bit earlier. Creating a routine is important so that you definitely, you get used to doing things and you know what's coming. And so that keeps your brain working. But I kind of feels a little bit earlier, we talked about you can shake things up too. So because you want to keep yourself on your toes. So kind of both there. I think overall creating a routine is a great way to just keep, to keep that brain function as we need it. But every once in a while, don't be afraid to, shake it up a little bit and be patient. So don't be hard on yourself or those around you or your loved ones, because things happen and, we do forget things. So, and you may get frustrated with yourself, but it's okay. And just, if you're having situations and issues like that, then, do some of the things we're talking about, make a to-do list, try to get more of a routine, but just let yourself know it's okay. If it gets to be very, very concerning, definitely share this with a loved one or a friend, consult your doctor and see if there's something more you can be doing. Stay organized, and this is very important. I know I feel much more on my A game when I'm organized and my desk is cleared off, and that is such a great feeling. And that, I think, when your desk and your home is organized, it's much easier to keep your brain organized. So that's very important. And then get creative. So once you've got your to-do list, you've got your routine going, you're able to be patient, you're organized, and you've got hopefully some time you can get a little creative and let that inner you come out. I mean, whether you want to be an artist or whatever it may be, that's still really important for your brain, to keep your brain occupied and stimulated. So, even if you don't consider yourself, a painter or, great at drawing, there's nothing wrong with giving it a try. Or maybe there's some other sort of creativity that you can do, whether it's scrapbooking or even cooking in the kitchen, and get creative with recipes. So lots of things you can do to stay creative. All right. So that's our presentation today, Carrie. We got some references here. So, as I always say, if anyone has questions about anything that they've seen in the presentation, they can always reach out to me at 502-777-6277. Of course, call the office there with you guys, and we can get them, a copy of this information out to them, and, definitely could contact any of these references and things like that. But yeah, so our references come from the Mayo Clinic, the Alzheimer's Association, and the American Psychological Association. And there is a help guide as well that helps us put these presentations together. So
yeah, this is such good information, Vicki. And I was thinking as we go through the Art of Healthy Living series, what we all, I think we all aspire to is enjoying our lives as best as we can with whatever constraints and things that we move through. I've seen a lot of people rise to exceptional levels through this whole COVID challenge, including you, when we came up with this whole idea of trying to move forward with the Art of Healthy Living series as a way to get good information into the community when we couldn't do the things that we normally do, which would be, maybe present in person or do different events or things like that. And all of this whole library of information that now exists in the Art of Healthy Living series, which you can access, by the way, on the Helping Seniors YouTube channel. There's a whole, we call it a playlist, but you can go through and you can see all the different episodes that we've done so far with Vicki, and just great material that you will enjoy, that will help you enjoy a healthy life and a good life. And this part about keeping our brains healthy, Vicki, is so important, because what you're talking about as we come out of this phase of intense isolation, where they said, everybody stay at home and all these things, and we start to move back a little bit normal. I think it's so healthy that, like you said, Maybe not everything that we talk about is revelational, but just as you were talking about with your own experience about when you went out to lunch and you remembered, hey, listen, I haven't had a fish this week and I should do something on that level. That's why it's important that we hear these things overall. And Vicki, one of the things I wanted to ask you as we close up on today to particularly share, you are such a great resource, not only in terms of what you share on the art of healthy living and all of that through CarePlus, but also just the fact that you do care about what happens with seniors here in Brevard County and why you're such a great resource. I think people get overwhelmed a lot of times with very complicated information. And one of the things that you're able to do in your role, helping people figure out their Medicare plans, is you understand all these parameters and you're able to look at somebody's situation and maybe help them, yes, this is good where you're at and this is the right way to do it, or, this might be better given what your own particulars are. So I wanted to ask you to share again how people get in touch with you and that you are available to help them, help guide them, or help advise them on taking a look at some of the things that might be beneficial.
Right. Yes. Even if you're satisfied with your plan, but maybe you just have questions about Medicare in general, or if you're just, you're going to turn 65 in 6 months, definitely give me a call. I'm just happy to answer any questions that I can. And if I don't know the answer, I'll definitely find the answer for you. But for most of the time, I think I can answer it, any type of Medicare related question. But you can reach me at 502-777-6277.
That's great. And I want to thank you again, viewer, for joining us for the Art of Healthy Living. Again, every second Friday, we visit with Vicki and we get a great topic going. So we'll be back with this on the 26th of March. And of course, we do the Helping Seniors updates because that's our commitment to you, to try to keep you informed about things that you should know as a senior living in Brevard County. And there's as we've learned in the past year, it's always changing with the COVID. But two quick announcements before we run off for today. One is the fact that we have the Helping Seniors Travel Club cruise. It is coming up. The ports were not open in May, so they put a new date out for that. That's October 17th. It's the exact same cruise, exact same ship. The MSC Divina will be sailing for the private island, which they call Ocean Cay Marine Preserve. It's a beautiful island in the Bahamas. We also steam over to Mexico, visiting Cozumel and Costa Maya. And of course, lots and lots of people. It sails right here from Port Canaveral. So there's going to be lots of people from Brevard County on that sailing. It's a fundraiser for the Helping Seniors organization. And it's just going to be a fun time with local people sailing safely from Port Canaveral. So you're definitely going to want to visit helpingseniorstravelclub.com. Get the updates on that. They made available that same special if you book the inside cabin and deposit early, then you will get a double upgrade to a balcony. So what a great time to go sailing in the fall and enjoy some warm weather, beautiful seas, and nice places to visit with friends from Brevard County. The other thing is October 9th is, of course, the Helping Seniors Car Raffle grand drawing date. And so that is moving into full swing. You can get your tickets at helpingseniors.carraffle.com or just by calling our senior information helpline, 321-473-7770. 321-473-7770. And our education specialist, Kim Bernard, is there to help you with any questions, get you in touch with Vicki, help you with questions about the car raffle, the travel club, any of those things. We're here to serve you. We're now in our 10th year of service to Brevard County, and just honored to be able to do that. And honored, Vicki, again, thank you for sharing your time and your expertise and these great programs on the art of healthy living.
Well, again, thank you. And I do want to say I did get my letter from Helping Seniors of Brevard just this week with my 5 tickets in it. So I'm super excited about that. I'm going to try again and cross my fingers for October.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Vicki, and thank you, viewer, for joining us for Helping Seniors Updates on the Art of Healthy Living. We'll see you next time.